Hope you're having a good time. We're going to clarify a lot of the problems we got yesterday where we went wrong with the tile map. We received help from the Great One. It was actually just a file path issue. Simple to sort out. But I'm going to start a fresh project. We'll make a tile map from scratch. Let's get going on it. So yeah, blank page. Create a folder. Oh, I had so many ideas to do today, but time's gone by. Forgotten half of them. Hopefully the microphone isn't too quiet. I'm trying to get this settings just right. I've decided to have the mic very close to me now and have the gain turned down, so that might be the wrong solution. I'm just creating a new project in my file system. Let's call it Spooky Platformer. Nice, Micro. Good to see you, my dude. Hopefully the microphone is not too quiet. I'm trying to sit very close to it so I don't get the crackling. I think I had it turned up too much before. I'm not sure. So I'm going to create one called Spooky Platformer, and it's going to be basically Ghosts and Goblins little graphics there, and you know, whatever else we want to chuck in there. Alright, so it's an absolutely empty file this time. Good evening, Specky Nut. Is it quiet? Perhaps I'll nudge it up a little bit. It's good to get the feedback from you. Right, let's put it there and see what it's like. I think it depends if I look away from the mic and stuff like that. It's quite annoying. I'm definitely going to buy a new mic. I've spent out loads on computer parts recently. Yeah, I agree about the meta tiles. Hi, Emook. Very loud at your end. Okay. Well, that's good. I use Streamlabs OBS, but I do have the filters activated. I've got lots of filters. I've got gain filter, noise suppression, noise gate. Microphone's fine. That's good. That makes a change. I think I lost a few viewers from having a really bad mic over the last week or so. But hopefully we'll catch up again with the good content. They've been fine, have they? It probably depends on your speaker. Like if you're listening to it through headphones, you notice the crackling. Because I was noticing it when I watched it back. I've created a completely blank folder here, and what I want to really do is copy them build files in. No point in writing them every time. It's fine again now. Good. Yeah, because I didn't even turn the gain up at all on my comeback with the new PC. I thought I could get away with it, you know. It was very wrong. Right, so as you'll see, I'm creating a file here. You can see it getting added to the file system on the left. I am a bit of an audiophile, although I have come to terms with having mediocre sound now, but I used to be I used to spend a lot of money on speakers and headphones. I've actually got some okay headphones. I got them for £35. AKG Bluetooth. They're pretty good actually. So we've got our same old bat files here. They should be fine. I hate having it called some name, but I'm going to rename that at some other time. So we create main.asm. Preamp for your turntable. You could buy a mixer. That's what I did. I had a mixer. You can get them second hand, like a DJ mixer. And that has preamps built in. Some name, some game, main.asm. And to be honest, I'm going to copy main from another project because they're the same every time. Just to delete that one. There we go. We've got something to work with now. You've donated a nice amp. That sounds cool. Them old amps are amazing from like the 90s. You can hear the clicks of my mouse. Yeah, that's a bit of a pain. Maybe I'll quickly fiddle with the gate because it's hard to do the gate without anyone listening. So I may as well do it now that I've got your attention. Put the open threshold up. That might be better. Let me know if that interferes with the voice. Anyway, it's all part of fun, isn't it? Getting it right. Marantz, I used to have a Marantz amp when I was DJing. I blew it though. I had like, it took 4 speakers, but I plugged in like 2 huge subwoofers and then like another 6 speakers. And then I left it on full volume for ages. Quite like the clicks. Yeah, you can hear the actual work in progress. Yeah, the odd click's not too bad, is it? I can see that the gate hasn't worked because I can see it on the monitor, but we'll get on with it for now. If it's really annoying, we'll change it for next time. I'm not sure whether I need DI there, but let's leave it. And also leave the stack pointer there. Also leave it in 28 megahertz mode. Pretty sure that's the 3 doing that. Add comments. Yeah. You know, I used to always comment every line, but it can become a real, what's the word? Mind stone or whatever it's called around your neck doing that. Because you can end up getting the comments wrong. Yeah. I mean, like, the stack pointer there does what it says on the tin, doesn't it? We're loading the stack pointer with a new value. This disables interrupts. I'm going to start calling it game init. I don't know why, I just want to not use start anymore. See, I'm not even 100% sure accurate when I write that. That's why I didn't write it, but I don't even know, but I'm guessing that that's the next reg to change the megahertz mode, and the 3 means the mode is the 28 megahertz. That's what I'm guessing, but I'd have to read the docs to confirm that, which I'm not going to do right now. The rest of this, I'm going to copy in retro tools, because that's the whole idea. That's the whole idea of the retro tools folder, is so that it's going to be reused. May as well do the fonts as well. That's correct. That's good, Specky. Thanks for checking that. It was pretty common sense. That's why I wasn't even sure to comment it, really. But right, so we've got the fonts. That'll do. We'll leave them there. We're going to try and use GG tiles again, which basically is what we failed on last night, but we did end up getting it sorted. Just find it. Yeah, so GG tiles. What had happened was, last night, I put it in a file like this, in a folder. And then I had another folder, which I'll do again, called levels. So tiles should be called assets. It's where we put stuff that we create externally from our code environment here. You know, it's imported stuff. And then levels, that should be a folder, not a file. Levels is where I'm going to put my maps as well as my level manager assembly file. Oops. And I know that I'm supposed to be creating a level. When I call something a level, what I actually mean by that in terms of the documentation is a tile map. So it's a collection of numbers that relate to tile IDs, and they can, you know, the minimum it would have to be is 40 by 32 for one screen, and it can basically be any number, but of course there's tricks. If you have it the right size, it can help with the code. I'm not going to do binary. That's what I was just explaining there. I'm not going to do it this time around because that's more of a space saving technique, but I am still at the stage where I just want to see it working, and if it's not working, I want as little things as possible that it could be, if you understand what I mean. So once I've done the tile map and I'm completely happy with making new tile maps, you know, drawing them to the screen without having any problems, then I'll look at reducing the size of the map by making it binary, and then of course I can somehow use an image editor to create the levels, but that's a separate thing, or you know, it's a more advanced topic in my opinion. That, just take a drink, wait a sec. So as always, I wanted to make graphics, so we had loads of graphics, you know, but at the moment we're stuck with GG tiles. But that was enough for us to create a simple little level, so we'll do that. And first I'm just going to try and do what I did yesterday and make one screen called level 1. And I had a note, didn't I? A comment of what tile was what. Okay. I seem to have lost that. Here it is. So there's our sort of legend, or whatever you want to call it. And in fact, let's not mess about. We got a Blue Peter version here that I made earlier. And if I remember right, it was just the ground. Oh, we had 2 layers of ground, didn't we? But this will do for an initial screen. We'll get this drawing. So our problem was we were doing MMU, I think 16. I'm completely in 2 minds now about how to represent hex. But I'm going to try and use the dollars every time. And what I had here, we want to load the ggtiles.nxp. So I'd written assets ggtiles.nxp. But the problem is, level manager, where this incbin resides, is inside a file, a folder. I can't believe how often I get the words files and folders mixed up. So we need to go up in the file directory. I'm not sure why it seems to prefer. It seems to give me like a weird color thing when I do it the other way around. But so I believe that was all we needed yesterday, and that was it. We don't need to put that there. So level isn't going to be called level 1. It's going to be called levels. So this will contain every single level. And this is the level manager. It's going to load whatever level we want to load. Um, I calculated the tile set size already, didn't I? Sorry, I think I've missed a load of your comments. I had my editor above the comments. Simply think caused the massive destruction. It certainly did. 2048, thank you. I mean, this is where we load the tile map in this file, so it makes sense to have the constant in here, if you ask me. GG tiles size. Okay, so that's going to load the palette and the tiles. I mean, we could easily copy and paste everything now. I'm pretty sure it was working, but I'll try and go along without it as far as I can and just refer to it when I need it. I remember the first thing was set palette, but I'll probably have to look at how to write that. It was quite a confusing little loop, if I remember right. Let's look it up. So load HL GG palette. Oh yeah, it's coming back to me now, but yeah, explaining this would be horrible, but at least we know how to do it now. Voice from the dwarf. Damn, I thought of the most funny name for a game earlier. With a little theme to go with it. But I completely can't remember it now. I don't think it was actually Red Dwarf related, but for some reason that just reminded me of it. So let's just whiz through this because I don't fully understand what it's doing, but it's basically going through and loading 2 bytes from HL from the palette into these 2 registers. That's all I know. Could do that a little easier. That would be nice. That would be nice. Because that might, at the moment, I don't know exactly what's going on. I know we open up the palette here, sort of thing. Start it from 0. So there's 256 times until it gets back to 0. Okay. I thought when I read about 43, it said something about setting the palette for writing or something. God, now my return button's not working properly. I mean, thankfully, it's one of those routines you don't really have to care how it works. You can still write, you know, if you just use that, you can still get into the nitty gritty of coding like gravity into the game and collisions and all that. This is the crucial bit coming up here. Load the tile definitions. Next wedge 5, 6, 16. Now that's choosing slot 6 because we chose that there, and then 16. And then we're going to start from that memory address. Still putting OX. Again, this is stuff where, you know, it's very hard to extract this from the documentation that you have to do this in this order without getting help from someone to start with. Banks completely confuse me, mate, as well. There's 8 banks, I know that. But then there's like, it goes on about 8k banks and 16k and stuff, doesn't it? Or something like that. And then there's pages and slots and oh. But we'll get there gradually the more we use it. These need commenting. I should comment these right now. But then again, I want to get on with it. See, there's another one to next reg 4.3 here. Looks specky. And strangely enough, it's the exact same bit, like value we feed in here. Look. But in 2 different scenarios. I'm guessing that's choosing that palette or setting it, whereas this is like setting it for writing. But how does it know the difference? There's obviously no difference. The rest need to be black. Alright. That is pretty much all you actually need to load the map and initialize it. Set palette on Discord. Thanks, mate. I'll check it now. I'm gonna roll myself a smoke while I load it. Nice one, dude. Should I just delete this one? I might as well, and it's gonna get. Oh, I was trying to overwrite that one. There we go. So let's take a look at this. Oh look, different. There are actually different next wedges here, isn't they? Than what I had a minute ago. Yeah, I do that, Specky. 921 comment, magenta. Yeah, mate, I've been thinking the exact same thing. I used to have it. If you look back at my original Specky games, I had all them written as constants. The thing is, of course, sometimes you want the full byte, if you know what I mean. Like, and sometimes you don't. You only want to use a bit, the three of the bits with the Specky at least. But yeah, it does make a lot of sense. I constantly have to look up the colours. Anyway, thanks for that share palette. So we're making it 0. There's a right to next 40. Sure, these were 41 before in the other when we did in the one I just deleted. Yeah, interesting. Is that a mistake? No, not a mistake. Thank you. And added comments. Oh, 44 is a 9-bit reg. Interesting. So it keeps inking through the palette and putting that value from the palette into these one after the other, and then loops back. I see. That makes a lot of sense. I mean, I never would have figured it all out on my own, but I could write that loop myself, but I would have never known to poke these next regis with this, and you know, with the palette. I get you. Yeah, yeah. And we happen to have a palette that's 512 bytes too. Although I noticed this palette is much smaller. I did notice that. We was gonna ask you about that actually, Mook, because I made it using your tool. I put a PNG into it. In fact, no, I put an index bitmap in the end because the PNG gave me an error. Can't remember what the error was now. But this one's only 32 bytes, this palette. Size on disk, 0 bytes. Yeah, I used an index bitmap for this, but it only had 16 colours. And I guess that's why. When I used a 256 colour one, it said there were too many colours on the converter. So we probably don't need to load that amount of bytes, to be fair. Very strange. I'll drag GG tiles onto Discord just in case it's of interest. Because it is only 32 bytes. Change B to 16. Oh yeah. That's very clever, man. In fact, yeah, that's so clever. Good job. That's just made it even clearer now. Because of course, when it's 0, it goes all the way through from 255 all the way back to 0 before it reaches the end. And we only need 32, so we'll try that. That's cool. That's even less space on the disk being used. Quite a lot less space if you think about it. So the only thing left is to do the draw view. For now, I'm going to stick with my old approach with my own draw view and cameras eventually. But in a moment after that, I'm going to look at Emuke's scrolling routine, because I looked at it this morning and it looks very simple to implement, to be honest. What, that loop? It did look really strange to me, but I do get it. When it was 0, it took me a while, but then I figured out obviously it goes all the way through. I never would have thought of that, you see. If I would have just wrote OXFF and thought I was going to get every byte, I would have probably missed one though. That's it. Yeah, makes a lot of sense, man. Cool. So let's do draw view. Keeping it simple, gonna keep it specific. We've got level 1. We can abstract it later when we need to, even when we need to. Let's have view draw. And then view draw line. Let's not even call it viewport because it's just confusing. Let's just call it view width. Viewport just seems more complicated when you actually think about it than it needs to be. It's just the camera's view width. I'll put view width. I might as well do the height while I'm here, sod it. The camera was so that you can select, you know, you can give the camera a coordinate. Pretend this was 2 screens width for a second. So pretend the view was only that wide. If you put the camera at 20x, the view would start here, you know. Likewise, if you put it here, you know, it would begin there. It would, you know, get that square. just a concept of a view, the camera. We don't even need to call it a camera. We could call it literally view. View X. But for now we haven't got a camera. We've just got a static view that can't move. This is where we'd implement the camera or the view. Camera does make sense. It makes it a bit more easy to visualize, in my opinion, rather than just the word view. Because camera, you can sort of picture an actual physical object going along above the map. Clipping area. Decrement jump not 0. That's cool. Yeah. I mean, I knew what it did, but I didn't know the name. Now I do. For now. So this one's slightly different to what I wrote before, but it should do fine. So we'll just call that one time. It's going to load that level onto the screen. I seem to remember we have to load a next reg or something before we call init tiles. I don't know why. A crop of the whole world. Yeah, the camera. It's just a way of saying, right, we're positioned here, the camera. So we're on 10, 8. And then the viewport width would be 10. So that would be like to there. And the viewport height would be 8. So that would be your camera's view. And then this could be like, you know, an entire world, a castle or whatever. It's only a concept. Sort of Emook's scrolling, I don't think has a camera. It just scrolls. Just scrolls the actual background, which is fine. We'll look at that in a minute. It looks really simple actually. I understood it all earlier when I looked at it. In a way, this might actually be better for going up and down in the world though. I'm not... Maybe Emook's will be fine, but we'll talk about that later when we get to it. But basically, the memory address... We're not working with a memory address here with a camera. We're working in coordinates X and Y. If you're working in a memory address, how do you go up and down? It's easy enough to go right. To go up and down, you've got to go like forward 256 bytes or something. I don't really know. I'll have to look into it. Nice. I'm glad that makes sense. And I think it is worth having a go at with the camera, because if you look at modern game engines, they all use the camera, even for 2D, and it just makes it easier to visualize really what's going on. But for now, do remember, I've just pointed out about this crap about this, but this is actually a camera view, that whole thing. So if we want to have a bigger than a camera's view, we obviously need to make it bigger than this. I reckon this is ready to go. That's it. It was slightly more complicated than that, because we had to go forward a bit each line, if you know what I mean. But luckily, I think it was Chromo or maybe Fractal. They were in here and they came up with a good solution to that, and we've still got that solution in the other code to copy from if we get desperate. Right. Let me have a look at my other code a sec. Yeah, we load next reg 15. It's the global something register. I think it sets up the layers basically, which layers are what go over the top of what. Sprites and layer system register, that's it. So I'll get that up on the screen as well because I want to know what them 2 bits mean. Oh, so we've just enabled sprites over border and sprites visibility. So actually it's probably not even needed for the tiles. Let's try without it. Oh, that's well useful, mate. Thank you. That's super useful. So the only one I know off the top of my head where I wanted to do that would be like in the ZX Spectrum 48K. You could have like screen attributes. And I always wanted to be able to just do flash bright. Oh. Wait, didn't like it. Do you mean like that? That'd be interesting though. I've always wanted to do that. Oh, Tilda. Okay, thank you. Interesting. Looks crazy, doesn't it? Keep it going. Yeah, don't worry, I will. Don't worry. Not that one. Oh, I know the one you mean. Oh, that one maybe. Wait, it looks like it. Looks good. Looks good. Hello, Plexum. Nice to meet you. Right, this should run. It's going to call init tiles. And it's going to initialize the palette, the tile set. Let's check it out, see if it goes. No. Oh, okay. Error opening file constant. I should put that into retro tools because I import it every time. That's a brilliant idea, Emu. Okay. So I've now put constants inside retro tools because I import it every single time I do a new game. Oh, we have more errors. I think I forgot to include level manager. Yeah, I did. That's in a folder. Oh dear, it didn't like this. It shouldn't need double quotes. And also VS Code doesn't seem to like it when you do the slash that way around. Okay, it doesn't like tools that are imported, but I don't think we need it right now, so get rid of it for now. That got rid of some of the errors, but we still have error line 68. Oh, incbin needs to be tabbed. Yeah, well done, Micro. Well done, my man. I think that might be all the errors gone. Let's check it out. Huh. 0 errors. Oh, I was going to say, why is it not loading then? And it's loaded all small again. It used to remember. Let me sort that out. Too big, yeah. There we go. That's better though, isn't it? Right, the grave looks goofy because I was testing it with some collision detection. I couldn't be bothered to draw a bigger one. But we now have the working map, so that's great news. Let's change the map a little bit. Like you say, maybe I should get into doing the thanks Specky, yeah. Yeah, to think that was the only thing that buggered us yesterday, was not putting them dots. I'm gonna put them back the other way and just to confirm that they do work the other way around. Yeah, it's all good. Yeah, I'll keep the ground. But what I was saying was, I am tempted by Emook's and Specky's suggestion of using an editor and then creating a binary file for the levels. This map here, we need a big one of these, and it is quite a ball ache to write them all, you know. I guess for now we're gonna have to just write them. So I remember there being 5, so that's the actual ground. Remember, if we went any smaller, we'd probably break the game because we wouldn't have enough tiles. So I just changed it to the sky. Yeah, we've got a list of solid tiles. The collision worked. We tested it out yesterday. It worked perfectly with the code we wrote for Red Dwarf. We know exactly which ones are solid. Basically anything between 0 and 9. That's going to be easy enough, but rather than having tiles in a set order. Yeah, but if we have a list of solid tiles, yeah, doesn't somewhere the code need to check each one then? Like with each number? We can't just say, is it less than? Yeah, so you'd have to check, is it 31, is it 14, is it 12, is it 66? If it's simple and fast, that's alright. I'm mainly worried about the speed of it, because there's a lot of tiles there to check. And you know, imagine it's not always the player only that is collision. You might have like balls bouncing around or bullets or whatever else that can collide with other things. But that's fine. I was trying to optimize there. CPIR. Okay, I see. So what we would do is, just for a quick example on that, let's pretend our solids aren't 0 to 9. If we draw them in like a proper order where we can visually see them nicely, they would have been something like 0 and 1, then 31, 32, stuff like that, right? That would be our solid. Ooh. So there's our solids. God, my keyboard is being a pain. And then if we have a routine check solid, so CPIR. Oh, the code lens doesn't work. What's going on? Darn. I'll look it up on Z80. No operands. Z is set. You hit a tile in the list. Okay. So it's as simple as just going load HL solids, CPIR, return. Oh, BC. The usage is strange. He loads HL with it and BC. Oh, I see. I've got it on the screen here about CPIR, yeah. Interesting. Yeah, that's a bloody good page, that. What you just linked. This is where I found out about the mull. I have read that once or twice. So it says HL gets decreased. Hmm. I didn't mind. I didn't really mind having. It's not that hard to change the tile set so all the solids come first. Oh, it is decreased, yeah. Increased. Look at this, though. I'll show you this. See this line? Oh, sorry. Before HL is decreased. Oh, look, yeah, I see. So it exits when one of those two conditions occurs. But the Z flag is set only when that occurs. Cool. That seems interesting. So if BC's decreased and HL's increased, let's go for... I mean, as it happens, I know it's 10. But that's great because when we make our other tile map, we'll draw it in just a logical order that can be looked at and seen what it is. But I don't know. I kind of liked my approach there, to be honest. It doesn't take long to move the tiles around. And then you just take a legend like this, so you know how to draw all of the objects. Well, you don't even need to do that if you use an image editing tool to create your levels. Okay, Mook. In a second, I'm gonna just change the map manually in the figures to make it look like a group of platforms, and then I'll make the world wider than it needs to be. You know, wider than the view. Oh, that's cool. A book with CPIR in it. How awesome! Just reading that now. Yeah, so it looks like perhaps I don't know. I've just misread that website, but it was going on about HL being decreased, but God knows what it meant by that. But that looks good. Yeah, it looks like a very good book, whatever that is. Website's wrong. Well, I wasn't going to be the guy to say it because I don't know what I'm talking about, but I'm glad you said that because it looked wrong to me as well. That's interesting to know because I think it was wrong on a different one as well, and I just thought that I was wrong. But maybe I was right because I was using it and I was like, how can that work if that's getting decreased? Alan Tully. I'll have to check it out. In that case, well, this is a more robust way of doing it because no matter what the tile sheet comes in at, we can just record the solid tiles here. It just means slightly less work, but more code, really. A slight bit more code. So the left edge and the right edge are here. I'm going to split it so I can read both. Although the more I think about it, I really do like the approach I took with the it's like an optimization in a way, what I did, without meaning it. I mean, it only has to compare one time for each tile to one number. Is it less than or more than, basically, or equal? I get that, Mook, but it's not that hard to readjust them because they're 8x8 tiles. It's very easy to select tiles and move them. But I get where you're coming from, and I do like, you know, seeing this in action. Because you do really, you need to be able to handle, like, solids being all over the tile map, really. Yeah, very true. But the other files do suffer with other problems, that they don't use the space efficiently. So at some point you've got to like cut them up and move them about. But we could just fill in with some other grass and some other sky and stuff like that. Alright, so we should have just one left edge now to look at. And there we go, it looks beautiful. Forget the grave, because we knew we just snippeted that I snippeted that away, didn't I? In fact, let's fix that quickly, why not? So grave was... We've got 8 and 9 somewhere. We need 6 and 7 above it. There we go. Okay, so let's make another platform. So I'll do the left edges while I've got them here. And then I'll put some right edges in. My keyboard's junk, man. You had to press it quite a few times. But then suddenly it works perfectly again. Whoops. It probably is, Mook. No, it's not. It's a Logitech wireless one. But it was a cheap Logitech wireless one. And then I've got wireless headphones as well, and I think that's why. The combo, it doesn't like. There we go. We haven't got any ocean tiles right now. That are purely ocean. That's why that's doing that. But that's enough for now. I can then make it. I can then try and scroll it now. Just copy the whole thing. I don't think it will like that actually. Oh dear. Oh, what have I done? Yeah, it's okay. It managed it. Yeah, I've got a wired keyboard. I break them, man. My place here is so bad that it just all gets tangled and there's not much space to do anything. Missing a comma, very good spot, man. Very good spot. Thank you, dude. Right, so now we've got two, and we're not going to make these look very nice because at the end of the day, we're going to make it again in a minute. You know, we're not going to use this for all that long. I'll bung a grave just in the sky there, just so we know we've scrolled. That'll do. We've got a top bit of a grave up there. Now, we've already done my approach before, and it makes great sense. I don't think there's actually anything wrong with it. Just specifying a camera's position. So here's 0, 0. We draw that width and that amount of lines. Yeah, simple as that. When we scrolled in my version, we would move the camera and then we'd call draw view again and it would just draw that, which was fine. But I do want to try Mook's approach. I'm going to have to load up his GitHub because obviously I can't remember it. But it was very straightforward. I think it's something that won't take that long. Very slow. What, slow as in for the processor? CPU. Mine didn't actually move 8 at a time. I mean, it did, but there was a delay. So it wasn't like... It was in sync with the movement, if you know what I mean. It had a delay to it. Yeah, I get you. We're just going to move the memory this time in the screen. Like literally directly in the screen's memory. We're going to just roll it, move it along. I don't want to be doing it in levels, and this check solid shouldn't be in levels either. I don't even really like it in level manager. I'll leave it in levels for now. But inside a level manager. Would I really? Okay. That's where I've just suddenly hit a confusion now, actually, with this approach. Because what happens when you want to go back? How do you know what label to look for? Same as if you want to go up and down. Yeah, I've just realised my mistake here in the understanding of it. Keep tabs of where you are, okay. I'll paste your code into this project. Oh, oops. Somehow I got all this stuff. We're not actually going to use this code, we're just looking at it. Yeah, because when I looked at your code earlier, it made so much sense to me. I thought, oh, I can do that. Look, here's where it's moving right. Yeah. And it checks for the edge there. So where do we get the next column from? Okay. So that's what's different. Because the reason is, as far as I can see, I'm using a label, whereas you've used like a page or a bank. For the actual map itself. So here would be level 1, yeah? Yeah, I get that much. But it was this where you're getting the data from for the next one. Is that one line 28 hex there? Is that why it's gone up by 28? Okay. Okay, thank you. So it is one line then. One column. One line, yeah. I see, I see. Let's just see them in order. It might make more sense. See, I need to start using them dots there like that with my labels. Because sometimes there's just labels that I don't want to accidentally use from somewhere else. Start at the edge of 40. Okay. It was funny because I looked at it this morning and I made loads of sense of it. I see the scroll in there. So when it gets to the end of the scroll, this happens. It calls map right, sets the scroll offset to 0. Scroll tilemap right +1. Is that not how? Look at this. Look, this is a label, but it's being used in a load. Set in B. Okay. Self-modifying code. Do you know I accidentally done that once with that load when I really didn't have a clue what I was doing, and I was surprised to see that it did compile. Took me a while to figure out. I don't know what effect I was actually having. Change load B and I still don't get what that loads. Some amazing stuff that. First by load B. Okay, I see. Okay, so it's almost like calling. I see. So it's like calling this and setting that to be whatever's in A, which happens to be this B minus 1 or 2. I don't know. This might 1. I see. Wow. If I can remember that, that's some advanced stuff. Right now, I understand how that does it suddenly, but cool. I never would have thought that was possible. See, I don't really want to just use your code without understanding it, at least somewhat understanding. Yeah, I think I could do that. What without, because that tile map example, I'm not including this, so none of it's going to get compiled in. But I worry about this label now. Like, would I run out of space if I just use this? This is what I was doing previously, wasn't it? It's fine for now. Okay. Okay, so we're starting here. If I scroll by 1 pixel, we won't see any of this, will we? Any of this. But what we'll see is the map moving to the left and an empty space appearing on the right by 1 pixel at a time. And I believe if we look at it now, oh, what am I doing? Oh dear, what have I done? I don't think it had anything to do with that, but just in case. Oh god, I had this problem before, didn't I? It wouldn't be because of that, would it? Yeah, it is. Alright. So what's happening is it was just only loading linearly, so we're getting all black. Like, let's just put a 6 there. Yeah, see, it's up there. So already we've got a problem with draw view. It's not going down a line, that's what it is. Before, I was skipping us forward by... Yeah, why is it not? It should. Oh. World width is 80 now, isn't it? So I need to go forward by 40. World width, take away view width. Need to move DE on forwards, yeah. No, HL. Yeah, just above it, yeah. I think I've got the hang of it now. So I need to add HL with DE. Need to push DE. Pop it after I've added it. And I can load DE with world width minus view width. Add HL. Oh, can I do that? Can I? Oh, nice. Thanks, man. That's funny. The amount of hassle I've had because I didn't know I could do that. Oh, is that a next stuff, is it? Next specific. The amount of times I've had to free up a register thinking I had to. Oh, it is. Okay, that's good then. In fact, it can go there and make it a bit tidier. Now this is much more simple than the code I've got in the Red Dwarf one, so it might not work, but we'll soon find out. And it does work, that's great. Of course it doesn't scroll yet. Oh, and look at that, we've got graves on the ground there. Something looks weird with the ground. I think the tile map's getting corrupt. Something's happening there. Yeah, look at the grave as well. It's cut it out, and then it's. That's really odd because that's not even one whole tile. It's halfway through a tile that's doing that. Wonder what that's about. That's weird. Oh well, to make it scroll, I believe we can just fiddle with this next reg here. I'm just going to see what halfway is. Let's try 128. Oh, I bet you can't do that. So I'm hoping that's going to be halfway. Oh god. Ah. Possibly. Let me snip it in my working code, which we know worked fine. But this is overblown because I didn't realise you could do that load HL thing. Right, so that's... And it's also got the camera to worry about there. All that's to do with the camera, really. Yeah, see, look, I pushed and popped just so that I could use it there, isn't it? Wasn't needed. Like, it's no different to doing that, is it? Weird how it worked with this one. Oh, I've got some errors. It's because of this. That 128 scrolls it quite a long way. What the hell's going on there? Yeah, true that, Emook. I was just thinking that secretly in my head. But it really did seem to work. I mean, I put it to the test quite a lot. Oh, is it really in pixels? Right, right, nice one. Can't find it. There we go. Reg 30, yeah. Here we go. So let's do 4 then, because I wanted to do half a cell. That's a bit better, isn't it? It's a shame about this. I need to sort out this problem, really. But I wonder what that could be. Yeah, but I was more worried about why this tile, half tile, was getting glitched at the bottom. Oh well, I guess I'll just forget that then. Okay, so in my loop I'll just increase that scroll register, scroll offset. Then when it gets to a certain number, we'll load that new column in. So let's draw a view. Scroll right. In fact, let's put view scroll right. How do you read what's in the next reg then? I'll look at your code. I bet I can find it there. In fact, let me look at the next reg thing a sec. Or can you ink a next reg? Oh, okay. Just cache a copy. I'm with you. That makes sense. I'm just wondering where I want to actually do the next reg call. Can you do that, or do I need to use A? I probably need to use A. Okay. Use A, thank you. Constant or A. Okay, thank you. You can probably just ink the value, I bet, now. Micro. Oh, cheers, Micro. It's view scroll right. Let's get rid of the name view. Let's try that then. So we'll just scroll right every frame. Wait there. Have we got the... We haven't got that wait for raster line. Better use that. Let's try it. Oh, there we have an error. Wait, raster line not found. I got rid of tools, didn't I? I remember now. Oh, it's not scrolling. That's weird. They've gone white now, them things. Hey, there we go. So, it's just wrapping, yeah? It's wrapping. I don't think it was ever showing us anything new of the map. It was only showing us that, which is what we thought was going to happen. Yeah, so it was going up to a maximum of 255 pixels and then snapping back. But that's good. So what we want it to do is check when it's 7. And then do this magical bit where I'm going to have to learn to... Yeah, so when it's 7... Here, before we ink it, we don't want to ink it if it's 7. We'll want to reset it, and at the same time we'll want to show the next column. Okay, this is where it's about to get bloody complicated. Push this to Git. Okay, give me a modo because I haven't even got GitHub desktop yet. I didn't know my login details. That was what slowed me down. Oh, I have got it now. I just forgot that I did it. Oh, that's okay then. Well, I'll push that one to Git. That was the red dwarf. I didn't even look what I changed. I actually have to create a repo for this one. spooky platformer. Caveman scrolling. That'll come next because I'm going to use the Caveman Ninja graphics for that one. Okay, I think that's going up now. Oh, bugger. It always defaults to keeping it private. I'll have to go in and log in now. Hopefully I can do that. Just out of interest, I wonder if it lets you make micro. I love that emoji. But I'll go in and make it not private now. Damn, it wants my password. Okay, I think it's there. Excellent. It should load now. Try again if you don't mind. Does it work? Yeah. Thank you. Good one. Cheers, guys. Okay, so scroll right. At this point here, if equals 7, reset scroll and LDIR new column in at the right. I think that's basically the concept we're going for. Too quick to act. Nah, you were quick. I was interested whether whether that would work if I linked you to it. I thought it might have been somehow clever enough to know, but no. It's annoying it defaults to private because the amount of times I forget to unclick that. I mean, I'm moaning over nothing because it's easy enough to set it back to private, but a public. So we basically want a jump here to scroll right, finish. So it only finishes if it gets to the end of the cell. If not, it just inks and returns. But from here is where we want to do, well, we can definitely reset the scroll. But then this bit here, this is the bugger. Cooking in the background, nice. No worries, man, no worries. I can't wait till a time where I can just jump into next coding and not have to even worry about what I'm doing. Just crack on, you know. It'll be amazing. But a few more sessions before that's gonna happen, I'm afraid. LDIR new column. So that's essentially eMOOC's map right routine that I want here, really. Which just seems like it moves. It moves everything from there on the screen. HL's about to get incremented, isn't it? LDIR. Both of them are. I get it, but I want to read LDIR again. Load DEHL. I get it, yeah, okay. $968, is that the number of tiles on a screen? No. Why 968? Number of tiles being shown. Is that right? Okay. So your window is not the full tile map. Okay, thank you. So you include the full tile map, yeah, not even the column that you're rolling away. Or maybe it should be 39 times 32. So we want to move it. Oh no, we want to do the whole lot, yeah. Okay, that kind of makes sense. But then there's more. I'm guessing this would have to be my level pointer. In your example, I've hit into load A offset +1. I can't find offset. offset is basically camera position, isn't it? That's what I had it. It's like camera X. Reset offset. Oh, or is it the scroll offset? Oh, there's offset. Oh, okay. That's what that +1's about. Right. Okay. Oh, cool. That's too complicated. Crikey. This will move it all, won't it? And then it goes back to 0. Just wonder what that will look like. Huh. Whoa, look at that at the bottom. Right, so it's doing one line. If I'd have done that 32 times, it might have worked. God knows where it's getting this one tile from that it's reusing. That's the only bit so far that I understand. Just gonna open my window one sec. This is crazy hard, I'm still thinking it through. Okay. So I get that bit, that's moving the screen that's already visible. But when that gets to the edge, I mean, what I mean by that is this doesn't seem to care what the screen width is. It's going through the linear memory, moving it one to the left. So does that matter? This is a mind melter, isn't it? The bit I'm stuck on, and the reason I haven't written any code in ages, is because I'm trying to implement this scrolling routine from eMOOC's example. And I'm here. This. Okay, so it loads A with offset +1. We've learned that offset +1 means, well, it's going to go to there. But then it's going to continue doing all of this. Is it not? Maybe not, because it's loading A with that this time rather than the other way around. Darn it, I thought I understood it earlier when I read this code just without having a computer. I just read the file on the screen. If you look at this example, we're loading DE and all that again, but there's no LDIR to follow. Very confusing. Let's take a look back in our one then. There's quite a lot of problems with it though, because for some reason it's drawing that grave incorrectly as well. Got quite a few problems going on here. Let's see what that looks like. It's that smoothened it out with we had that clicking going on before. So the only problem I can see now is it is scrolling in, but it's doing one cell instead of 32, instead of a whole column. It also looks like it's reaching it from the wrong place. And it's going a bit too quick. Well, just out of interest, let's see if 50 makes this go a lot slower. Might be able to glean a bit of info. As we can see, it's poking one in there at the very end of the memory. And then moving that to the left. And as it gets to the left of the screen, it pops up another line. Because it's loaded another one in below it. And this was exactly where my brain was confused, because we need to somehow find the end of the line. It's getting there, isn't it, Micro? It's getting there. And this is a totally different approach to how we did it before. Well, pretty different, isn't it? So, we want to load a column in. And of course, we need to remember when we're loading that column in that we want to get this one, this one, this one, not this one, this one, this one. So for a start, let's put a grave right there. So now we'll know if it comes in properly. I also do want to put one floating in midair here, because I want to see if we get that same drawing bug with it. See, the drawing bug's not existing in the grave. It's only on that bottom line. And look how when we scroll in, it actually does it solidly. That white line. So it's going to persist and give us a real problem, that whatever it is, something to do with draw view. That's when we saw that problem arise, when we done this add. Maybe micro. I don't think you can reduce the column width. I don't know how, because this, it was only either 40 or 80, wasn't it, the width? Crikey. I mean, it's funny, you could actually lay out your level in a completely different way, linearly, you know, in columns. Columns could be rows in the data if you really wanted, you know what I mean? But that just sounds like it's more pain than it's worth. Just your camera. Yeah, but I haven't got the camera in this one, that's what I mean. This is like literally just scrolling the view and then drawing in. That's the bit we're stuck on now. We've managed to scroll. So what we've done by managing to scroll is we're not drawing this map every frame. We're actually just moving the bytes from one spot in the memory to the one next to it. I'm not sure if that's any faster than just drawing it from... I don't see why it's faster than having a camera and just drawing these bytes. But it probably is. And it's got the added bonus of having the scroll. We didn't have the scroll before. It wasn't clicking. It wasn't like clunky. But it was, yeah. I mean, I could easily add the scroll to that red dwarf. To be honest, I could add the scroll. It's just a case of using that next reg 30 and 31. But let's persist with this and not let it beat me. Because then we'll have both like options in the tool set, you know what I mean? In the toolkit. A little bit of Vic too. I know very little about that. Maybe you're right though, mate. I would highly expect you to be right because I don't know all these little tricks about that. But I'm definitely not bothered about that extra column that you see half of disappearing right now. I'll worry about that, you know, when I need to. But because there might be a way of doing the overscan. I know on the Nintendo Entertainment they have overscan. So like there's like a 16 pixel gutter around the edge, I think, or 8 pixels. There's got to be a way, but right now we're dealing with raw screen memory. So the only thing we could do is just not draw that final column. Yeah, draw it blank always. But it sounds like it's a bit more trouble. I'm still examining this example here. So I've done this bit. But if you see this, it calls offset, which then calls for while loop, which for while loop sets B to 40. Oh, I see, for this purpose. Okay, I didn't get that a minute ago, but it's falling down into the X loop. Doing all this stuff. And then it goes all the way back into offset, look. So if it's 0, it finally ends. See, that doesn't get involved with this particular routine as far as I can tell. That's probably just at the start where it needs to draw all of it at the beginning. I'm still, you know, obviously I haven't learned this throughout, but I'm still seeing advantages to the camera approach right now. Because the camera approach abstracts it to like an X coordinate and a Y. I'm not sure this does. It only knows what's being shown on the screen right now and what's to the right of it. Maybe that is adequate though. That's all it needs to know, isn't it? So I guess my main confusion right now is this level layout. If we want to draw a column, we need to get... We're starting from here. So we'll have an X offset, won't we, to know how far we are along the level. So let's pretend it's 1. So we want to start here and we want to draw that. So we'll add our position offset. Cheers, Micro. I've told my work I'm definitely needing the holiday now. I would expect it to be starting next week. But if not, I'm going to absolutely demand it the week after. So then all this sort of stuff I'll be spending a lot of time figuring out. So we'd have a position X. We want to add width to that, so we end up there. And then we just want to keep adding world width, don't we? We get that. I'm going to do that 31 times. Or 32 if you include the first one. Okay. I don't know. What I want to add to HL here is not a constant. I want to add an 8-bit variable to it. I don't know. Oh, my brain. Oh dear. I'm not sure I can manage this. I'm not too keen on just using that without understanding that. It's not really much fun in that, unfortunately. I mean, I'd only be able to scroll to the right in a predefined size level. I'd also have to figure out how using the bank and binary levels. That there would take us to this byte here. However, I want to add, you know, I might be in this position and then I don't want to be here. I need to be there. I'm pretty sure you can't do that, but you never know with the next. Let's just try it. Oh, it compiled without an error. Surely not. Oh, hello, Emook. See this here? Is that a legal command? On line 97. Just looking at Discord now. Holy moly. Was that first? I didn't even see that first one at 110. What's that about? Yeah, look at that. It seems to allow that. It won't like it though, will it? Because that's only an 8-bit number. Okay. Okay. Oops. Aha. Offset. Would that be what I've just called position? Oh, that'll be a tile offset, I bet. Missed it. No probs. Thank you, man. I'll tell you what, I'll put that at the top here. So I'll change that back to, let's call this camera position. I might use that later. Let's put that up there. Just having a good look at it, see if I can figure it out. Because this makes sense so far now. Oh, do you know what? I didn't even know you could do that. Oh, yes. So that's just checking for the end of the level, I think. Yeah, cool. Top right edge. Yeah, I get that. That's like the top right edge. I get it. Yeah, yeah. The first column, like the first cell in the final column. B32, that's going to be the number of lines, of course. Okay, I get it. Yeah, I like this now. This is stuff I understand. Simples. So in fact, let's change this to world width. World width. View width. Brilliant. I've actually got view height as well. May as well use it. Oh wow, thank you, man. That mostly makes sense to me. In fact, I think I'm going to get rid of these just so that when I read it quickly, it just helps me see it, you know, preference thing in it. That's lovely, that. So offset is essentially position, I think, here. Camera position. But I'm just having one last look to make sure of that. Okay, thanks, Emook. Don't worry if you don't want to, but obviously if you can help me with that, that'd be a great help, because I have no clue. But I would guess it's something to do with my draw view here. But it could be anything. I don't know, to be honest. It was only happening on that one specific line at the bottom. It was nothing to do with the actual grave. It was to do with what line it was on. I'd guess if I was using a different tile there, that would get corrupted instead. So let me just look at this draw column. Yeah. Do you know what? I was on the right track in my brain. I was trying to do that just then at the end there. Well, you can see even. I was trying to do that, but I'm going to delete all that because it's just horrible. I don't want to look at it ever again. I think I'll call that top right cell. It seems it's helped me remember what's going on. Awesome. Let's try it out. Scroll right. Should we check it out? Oh, that worked though, I think. It's getting there. Have you noticed how they load in? And It's a funny effect. Slides in from the bottom. I mean, that's probably something to do with this waiting for 50 raster lines. Might not notice now. It looks a lot better, but it's funny as hell how that slides up like that. It's almost like it's scrolling up from a part that the tile map's not even supposed to be visible on. One more look at that. I love it though, look how quick it scrolls. We can of course make it even faster. Look how quick that is. You set a clip register to hide that column. Okay, that's what me and Micro were talking about earlier. We didn't know how to do it. That's sorry for another day, we'll certainly check that out. I'm going to put this back to 100 and just see it. Just try and imagine what's going on with that. Funny. But yeah, we'll sort out this clipping thing. That sounds brilliant. Like what I was calling overscan. But I'll look that up. Clip register. How brilliant is that though? Right. Scrolling up and down is something for a complete other session with this code. It's totally different, but maybe scrolling left. I wonder if I could start it. When I start it, start it from a different area of the map. So I could start it from here, couldn't I? Do you a favour? Yeah, of course, mate. Of course. Breakpoint on line 74. Okay. Let me get rid of that sec, what I just added. So before the return, I'd say. Might not have the macros done anymore. Oh, it looks like I have. Whoa, look at that. It's tile 0, okay. So it's in the process of filling up the lines, I see. Should I keep stepping through then? I'm looking at HO and DE up there. So sometime now it's going to do it. Huh, it hasn't appeared yet. The glitch. Okay, so it's after the event. Look at that, it's not there. Weird that it drew all the screen, but DE wasn't even out of the 4s. It's overdrawing, yeah. I'm just going to try and get it to the 6. The D. Oops. And that's when it happened as well. I took my eye off it. Oh, so did it have something to do with the scroll? Look. Draws it correctly, and then as soon as it finishes, it draws that there. I just wonder if we get rid of scroll right second. Oh. Wait, let's get rid of the breakpoint as well. Yeah, it's still there. So it's saying... Weird. Tempted just to copy my work in one in. It's almost the same. Oh, I've got that bloody camera stuff though in there. So we've got all this unnecessary stuff, but it'd be funny to see if this works now. If it works, we'll then go and tidy it up. Errors. Oh, it's view width. Still there. So I don't think it is anything to do with view draw then, because this was working in my other code. Do the breakpoint again. In fact, let's go all the way back, because yeah, this one was actually better, wasn't it? Let's put the breakpoint. Let's put the breakpoint there, but then let's put jump NZ. Okay, I'll do that as well. It's drawn successfully, look. And it's pucker. Let me just try 60 out of just pure curiosity. I'm sure it will rematerialise. It's overdrawing, like you say. It's going too high. There we go. Okay, so wonder why that is. Let's get the calculator out. So 40 times 32. Oh, I get you. Yeah, so hex 500. So in other words, 45 from there to there. I didn't realise that. I thought it fitted into that space exactly. Idiot. Oh, beaut. Right, that's it. I've got to look up the clipping plane now, because that just works smooth. Well, hang on. Oh, I thought I just got rid of you. That is scrolling perfectly, yeah. I believe. Youch. Yeah, I'm always in the wars. I'm clumsy nowadays. Keep damaging myself. Let me see if I can look up clipping plane. Be nice to be able to figure that one out. Clipping register. Select next. Ooh. Clipping. That's sprite clipping. It's no good. Tilemap clip index bits. Wait there, I'm going to find it. One C. Let's try it in the tilemap initialization code. Surely it can't be. No, this is not going to do it. It says reset clipping index. Clip tile. Cool, it's just one thing after another that's just really hard to understand. Sadly, it looks like clipping won't be happening just yet. It'll make a massive improvement when we do figure this out. I don't know. I'm looking at the docs as best I can, but it's easy, is it? Add a macro. Oh, really? Let's have a look then. I've got my little macro section here, haven't I? Macro clip tiles. Look at Discord. Nice. Holy hell. Okay, let's check this stuff out. What a cool looking macro. It's like writing C# or something. I've created my own dumbass convention, which is just to have macros in capital letters. Look how breakpoint's in pink. How strange is that? Well, I kind of get what this is doing. 4155. Is that their height? 4. It is bloody nice work. I do like the macro, yeah, I do like the macro. And I can do it in game in it. Oh, how awesome. I suppose I might as well do it in the tile manager in it, because that's where all the tile manager stuff goes. I just didn't get what the numbers were about exactly. That's why I was pausing there. Funny how breakpoint macro's in pink, but this one's not. X is 0 to 32. Is it micro? Nice. So 4 is 8 pixels, sort of. Oh, okay. I get you. It jumps 2 at a time. I get you. I get you. Wow, look at that. Look at that. It's beautiful. I mean, I'm not going to expect to do it now, but it would be lovely to be able to zoom the border so that there was no, the clipped area was in the, not in the screen at all. But nah, that's fantastic. That. Hell yeah. I was going to try and go left. What I was going to try and do was start it from here instead. And then go left. Oh, it's a big ask, isn't it? No, it's too big an ask for me, man. That's another day, innit? Thank you, Mook. Yeah, I mean, I might fall back to my camera routine, but I'll certainly try and do left here. But it's not that straightforward to just. It's not just like copying that and changing a few things. It's got to like change quite a lot of it. What I'm going to try and do is just stop scrolling when we get to the end of the level. Separate left, yeah, of course. But I mean, it's not a case of just copying that and changing a couple of little things. It needs quite a lot changed to make it go left, I reckon, in the other routine. Yeah, let me just see. To prove I kind of understand it, I'm going to try and make it just stop at the end of the level. I reckon it's here. Reset offset. Oh, 99. Yeah. So when it's at the end of the world, it calls this. What we want it to do is just do nothing from there, don't we? Would it be a case of just doing that? Got a feeling that won't work. Oh my god. Oh, that's probably because of where I was starting. Yeah, I had that rubbish there still. I've introduced some glitches there. Need to camp. CMP. I'm definitely a long way off moving on from this topic. I'll be on this for a while, I think, sadly. Oh, compare. I get you. Sorry, I get you now. I just didn't. I just understood it as soon as I saw your message. Yeah, I was just thinking that, Mook. There was something happening before that. Every frame. I guess we can just load it here. So let's try that. Weird little glitches at the bottom there, look. Something I've done is messing that up. Ah, look at that. That's a cool little effect. You could jump in for an end of a level. Do you know what I mean? You could maybe use that Yeah, like a never-ending bit to the end, like a cutscene. This look pretty cool. So that was just like stopping it from loading the new stuff. If you, I mean, it wasn't stopping it scrolling. Well, it should have done, shouldn't it? That's made me quite chuffed with how my camera routine did at least work though, because I would have never got this on my own. Yeah, thank you, Mook. I'll be here for days poking around with this before I understand it, but it'll be great fun. When I eventually get time to bugger it around on my own, because at the moment I haven't been doing any coding solo, but when I do, I'll probably make a bit of headway on it. Yeah. I would love to just make it stop at the end of the level before I go offline, but not if it takes too long. View draw, do we really need that? We just get it one time. That's okay. Yeah, I'll be around, mate. Don't worry, don't worry. I'll figure it out, don't worry. It's just like a little exercise for me, really, more than anything. Something to do with the way I done current scroll, isn't it? Yeah, hang on. This might work. Load width -1. Never ending level again. Huh, interesting. Offset isn't quite what I think it is, I don't think. Offset is basically like the right edge of the camera. If you were using my camera analogy still, it's like the right side of it, right side of the viewport. Line 81. Oh yeah. Ah, nice one, man. I'm such an idiot. I done load offset A. Oh, I'm an absolute idiot, and yeah. I've got it. Thank you, man. I was almost there as well, but for some reason I was copy pasting, and I was doing load offset A. What an idiot.